All right, great souls. So let's just draw on the inspiration from yesterday from Cecilia and Vivek and Pranava. And we're going to draw in God's cosmic, brilliant, intelligent light and energy with fervor and ardor. So here we go. Oh, infinite spirit, recharge this body with thy cosmic energy, this mind with thy concentration, this soul with thy ever new joy. O eternal youth of body and mind, abide in me forever and forever. Double breathing, hands touching. Calf recharging, left calf. Ankle rotations. The other direction, 3 times. Right side. Ankle rotations. And the other way. Forearm and calf recharging, left side. And right side. And both together. And shoulder and buttock, left side. And right. And lower back recharging, left side and right. 3 times. And middle back. And upper back. And shoulder recharging. And back. And we'll do neck recharging. Throat, front. And left side and right. And neck recharging. And head rotations with tension. And the other way. And without tension. And the other direction. And spinal recharging. Spinal adjustment. Spinal rotation. Other direction. And side stretching. Sorry, I switched the order there today. And we'll do upper spinal twisting. And skull tapping. Be glad, my brain, be wise, be strong. Be glad, my brain, be wise, be strong. Be glad, my brain, be wise, be strong. Scalp massage. Awake, my sleeping children, awake. Awake, my sleeping children, awake. Awake, my sleeping children, awake. Medulla massage. Biceps recharging. Part body recharging. Tensing in a wave. And now left foot, right, left calf, right, left thigh, right, left hip, right, lower abdominals, upper abdominals, left forearm, right forearm, left upper arm, right, left chest, right, left side of neck, right, front of throat, back. And now we're going to do it all in one breath. All the individual parts in one breath. I won't call it out. I'll let you do it on your own, and you'll hold it at the top and vibrate, and then release right side first going down. Here we go. And one more, tensing in a wave from bottom to top. Lifting weights from the front. Double breathing, elbows touching. Lifting weights from the side. Arm rotations in small circles. Other way. Lifting weights in front. Finger recharging. Four-part arm recharging. I am positive, energetic, enthusiastic. I am positive, energetic, enthusiastic. I am positive, energetic, enthusiastic. Left arm raise and right. And side stretching. And marching in place. Knees up, folks. And if you feel too jogging in place, still drawing in that energy with fervor and ardor. Let's just relax and feel a moment. Feel the difference from when we started. Fencing exercise, left side. And right. Arm rotations in large circles. Let's really open the heart on this. Other way. Stomach exercise. Double breathing, palms touching. Calf recharging, left side. Ankle rotations. Right side. Hip recharging, left side. Right side. Double breathing, no tension. I am free. Breathing out all the cobwebs, all the sleepiness. Breathing in divine light, energy, freedom, love, power, calmness. Out all the fog, the shadows. In the sunlight. Oh, peace. Amen. For anyone who is new to energization that's here, there is an app on the App Store of energization. There's also plenty of videos on YouTube of Ananda yoga teachers teaching energization. All right, Lexi, all yours.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, I'm Lexi. I'm an Ananda yoga teacher, and I've been leading some yoga sessions in New York City pre-quarantine and been doing virtual ones on Tuesdays. I'm really excited to be here with you guys, and we'll go ahead and get started. Bringing our feet about right underneath our hips, a few inches apart. Go ahead and start to check in with your posture and get grounded, starting at the feet. So maybe imagining a triangle at the bottom of your feet, imagining 3 points, one here, right at the ball of the foot, and 2 in the back heel. So go ahead and visualizing that triangle on both feet, trying to distribute the weight evenly into both of your feet. Maybe leaning forward or backwards, side to side, playing around here, trying to find a centered place. And as we move up the body, go ahead and check in with your knees. Are they soft? Are you putting a lot of pressure on them? Go ahead and soften them. Moving up to the pelvis, imagining that it might be like a bowl of water, so you don't want it tilted forward or backwards, not too tucked or pointed out, but just leveled. Maybe engaging that core a little bit. Continuing to move up the body, go ahead and check in with your shoulders. Are they forward? Are they up by your ears? Wherever they are, release them. Maybe down and back, palms facing forward. And then letting your gaze be softly in front of you. So chin should be perpendicular to the floor. Maybe imagining that there's a gold cord coming out of the crown of your head, really pulling you up straight. I invite you to gently close your eyes here. Whenever I refer to a neutral or a natural or a straight spine, this is the spine shape that I am talking about. Our spine has a natural curvature to it. And so in Ananda Yoga, we pay a lot of attention to our spine because we believe that we should be guiding our energy to the spine and up to the third eye. So whenever I tell you to keep a neutral spine or bring your attention to your spine, elongate your spine, this is the format or structure of your spine that you want to really check in with. Another few things I want to just remind everyone about. I know I have a ton of Ananda pros here, but some unique things about Ananda Yoga that maybe we can bring our attention to today is the importance of the breath. And I will constantly remind you to be bringing your attention to full diaphragmatic breath, meaning really making sure that your belly is extending and contracting with each breath. With that being said, I invite everybody to go ahead and take one hand on their belly now, maybe one hand on their heart if that feels right. Maybe keeping the eyes shut and continuing to just observe the breath here, making sure that with our inhales, our belly is expanding. With our exhales, it's contracting. This is what's called a full diaphragmatic breath, meaning we're really bringing awareness to the breath. We're not just taking little sips of air like maybe we do in our daily lives. Taking full breaths like this helps us more easily get back into our parasympathetic nervous system, relax the body. While you continue to maybe observe those breaths, I want to touch on a few other points about Ananda Yoga. So breath is the first one. The second one would be that we use affirmations. So thinking about the idea of how we can use stress to benefit us at this time, I think that I compared it to asanas aren't always easy and they're not always super peaceful. At times they can be challenging or we can feel called to push ourselves. So in that case, it might be considered a stressful moment for your body. But we use things like affirmations in our breath as tools in our toolbox to push us a little bit harder and to come to a relaxed place, even though our body may be in physical stress. And then the last thing that we do in Ananda Yoga are neutral postures, which are like kind of little meditative breaks after each asana, where we get to guide the energy that we gathered up our spine into our third eye. With that being said, those three things are tools that even if we're in a stressful asana or a challenging asana, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't be doing those asanas always. It typically means that we have to use our mind and the tools that we have to bring our body into a relaxed state, even though we physically might be in a stressful position. So if your eyes are still closed and your hands are still on your heart and stomach, I invite you to take a minute here to just check in with yourself, asking yourself, what is it that I need today? Not judging what comes up, but just observing your thoughts. Maybe it is movement and challenge. If it is, I encourage you to maybe challenge yourself a little bit more today during these asanas. Maybe pushing yourself to try things that you don't typically try. If it's peace and calmness, I encourage you to maybe be gentle with yourself today in these asanas. Whatever it is that's coming up, this is your practice, your body, and you're in the comfort of your own home. So do what feels right for you today. Whatever I offer is just that, an offering, and you can always take child's pose or even lay in Shavasana for the entire class, and you would still be doing yoga with all of us and breathing with all of us. So knowing what it is that you need today and just holding that in your heart for your practice on the mat. Go ahead and take a deep breath here and release, gently opening the eyes as we come into our first posture of the day, which will be Vrksasana or tree pose. So shifting your weight gently to your left leg, keeping that left knee soft. I invite you to rotate out at the hip and bring your foot, whether it's in a kickstand on the floor, maybe you want to challenge yourself a little bit more and bring it to your calf. Maybe you want to bring it up to your thigh. And lastly, if you're really feeling like challenging yourself, you can go ahead and bring it to locust pose. But again, respecting whatever it is that you need today, making sure that your foot is not on your knee. I invite you to inhale the hands up and overhead, bringing the palms to touch, and then releasing the shoulders away from the ears, maybe bending the elbows. If this is uncomfortable or you might have high blood pressure or bad shoulders, you can also go ahead and bring your hands to your heart. If your hands are above your head though, I encourage you to remain active here. So not just slouching, but really pulling your elbows away from one another, like they're two of the same magnets, pushing away, bringing your shoulder blades together, remaining active in the legs here. So pressing that foot into the leg. Maybe gazing at a steady point in front of you to keep your balance. Imagining that you're rooted like a strong tree. I invite you to mentally affirm after me. I am calm. I am poised. Taking one more deep breath here on your own, making sure that you're breathing into the belly. And when you're ready, inhaling the arms up and overhead, stretching tall. Exhaling as we circle the arms out and release the foot down to the floor, meaning back in Tadasana or mountain pose. To gently close the eyes, observing the energy within. Maybe we feel it more on one side than the other. Guiding all of that energy towards the middle of your body, visualizing it move into the spine, up the spine, into the third eye. Offering all that energy, that calmness up. Gently opening the eyes back up as we shift our weight to our right leg now, keeping the right knee soft, rotating out at the hip, and then placing the foot on any of the areas that I mentioned. Inhaling the arms up and overhead, bringing the palms to meet, Exhaling to release the shoulders, maybe bending the elbows. And once again, just bringing awareness that we're remaining active in tree pose. We're imagining that we're strong trees, not limp or just hanging, letting our joints hang, our body parts just relax in this, but actually really staying active, opening up the chest, pushing the elbows away from one another, pressing the foot into the thigh or calf. Gazing at a stable point in your room, maybe. And I know that I like to visualize roots coming out of my feet here, just to really trust that I'm so grounded, I'm so strong, I'm so capable. I invite you to mentally affirm after me, I am calm, I am poised. Taking one more deep breath on your own wherever you are. And on the next inhale, you're going to inhale your arms up, stretching tall like a tree that's growing. Exhaling as you circle your arms out, releasing your foot to the floor, gently closing the eyes once again. And maybe examining the difference you feel now that you've done both sides. Maybe the energy feels more leveled, or you feel it a little bit more in your right leg this time. Whatever it is, whatever you're noticing in your own body, I encourage you to bring your awareness to guiding it in and up. Gently opening the eyes as we come into Utkatasana or chair pose. I'm going to briefly show this and demonstrate this so you can just watch for a second. Utkatasana in Ananda Yoga has a very unique breath, unlike some of our other asanas. So I'll go through and show you the breath in the two different phases, and then I'll walk you through it together. So for Utkatasana, we're actually going to inhale, hold the breath, and we won't exhale until we find our seat. This will help us feel a little bit lighter in this asana. That's phase one. In phase two, we're going to come down to a squat. And then to come out of it, you can either use your arms to go ahead and push yourself up, or you can use the floor to push yourself up. So let's go ahead and do it together, bringing our feet about hip width apart, so right underneath our hip bones. I invite you to inhale as we come onto the balls of our feet, palms facing up. Go ahead and find a seat while you hold your breath. And exhale once you've found that seated position. Imagining that there's a little wooden stool behind you. Maybe you bring your chest forward if you'd like, or keep it straight and up. I invite you to mentally affirm after me, my body is no burden. It is light as air. Maybe sinking a little bit deeper on the next exhale. Taking one more deep breath here to elongate the spine. And on the next exhale, go ahead and come down to a squat if your knees allow for it. If not, feel free to stay in phase one. Or bring your heels down in phase one. Give yourself a little bit of a break. If you're here in phase two with me, your palms should be facing up on your thighs. Go ahead and bring some awareness to the shoulders. Are you hunched over? Instead, bringing them up, rolling them back, bringing the shoulder blades together. Finding groundedness here, finding stability. I invite you once again to mentally affirm after me, my body is no burden. It is light as air. Taking one more deep breath here. And then whether we'd like to bring our arms behind us and use the momentum to push ourselves up or push your hands, meet me back in Tadasana, however it is that you want to come out of Utkatasana. Once you're in Tadasana, I invite you to gently close the eyes. Giving your body some gratitude for holding that chair pose. Maybe challenging yourself a little bit more today. That's an example of one that I like to remind myself when I'm taking what I learn on the mat off the mat into stressful daily life situations. So go ahead and check in with the energy that's moving around within. Visualizing it moving up. And gently opening your eyes as we come into Padahastasana, or jackknife pose. This is another posture that we'll do in two parts. It's a forward fold. And so the first part, we will press against our thighs and keep our spine neutral or straight, like I talked about at the beginning. And the second phase, we will relax, letting our head hang, our spine curve. So let's go ahead, starting with our feet together or hip width apart. You really have an option here. Inhaling the arms up and overhead, stretching tall. Exhaling as we bring our hands to our thighs and start to hinge at the hips, maybe looking at the mat, but keeping that spine neutral. So not yet rotating it or rounding it, not yet letting your head hang, but maybe the crown of your head is pointing towards your laptop or towards the front of the room. Keeping the shoulders back. I encourage you to keep the knees soft here as well. Really pressing your feet into the floor. Shoulders are back. Breathing into the diaphragm. Go ahead and take one more breath on your own. And on the next inhale, go ahead and really extend your spine, elongating it, maybe bringing your gaze a little bit more towards the floor. And on the exhale, go ahead and release as you relax. You start to round the spine. You bring your crown to face the floor. Maybe you bring your hands behind your calves or to your ankles or to the floor in front of you. Or you even have the option of wrapping your pointer and middle fingers and thumbs around your big toes to make a mudra. This allows for the energy in your body to completely circulate within. Wherever it is that you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. Checking in with your knees, making sure you're keeping them soft, letting your head hang heavy. Maybe nodding yes or no. I invite you to mentally affirm after me, nothing on earth can hold me. One more time, nothing on earth can hold me. Maybe feeling the tummy on the thighs when we inhale, making sure we're really extending that diaphragm. And when you're ready, I invite you to bring your hands back to your upper thighs and press back up to that phase one. So finding a neutral spine, straight spine, crown facing the front of the room, shoulders back and away, feet pressing into the floor. And we're going to inhale to push up above our heads, but really bringing attention that we're pushing our feet into the floor and using all the muscles in our core to press ourselves up. So let's go ahead and inhale, pressing into everything, arms above head, stretching tall, exhaling to circle our arms out and around us, meeting into Tadasana. So again, gently closing the eyes, maybe bringing your feet out to hip width if they aren't already there. Visualizing the light within, moving up towards the third eye. Gently opening the eyes back up as we come into Muktasana or freedom pose. So bringing our feet together, I invite you to bring your left foot behind you about 2 to 3 feet. Then I invite you to gently bring your front knee above your right ankle. So your right knee should be bent right above that front ankle. You should still be able to see your big toe. And your left leg should be straight, really using both feet to press into the floor beneath you. I invite you to inhale your arms up and above head, bringing the palms to meet once again. Exhaling to release the shoulders down, maybe bending the elbows. On the next inhale, I encourage you to try to find a slight back bend as you open your chest to the light from above. So once again, remaining active in both legs here, as well as in the chest. Imagining that there's a gold rope connected to your heart and also connected to the sky above, really lifting you out of your heart space. Maybe your gaze is slightly on the ceiling. I invite you to mentally affirm after me, I am free. I am free. Really elongating the spine here, reaching out of the crown. Taking one more deep breath on your own, letting it go. And then inhaling as we press up, bringing our feet together, stretching tall, and exhaling to rotate our arms out to our sides, gently closing the eyes. Showing gratitude for your body and for your freedom. Offering that gratitude up. Gently opening the eyes as we even out and do the other side. So bringing that right leg behind us now, anywhere from 2 to 3 feet. Bringing the left knee above the left ankle, making sure we can see that big toe. Pressing into both feet evenly, so remaining really active here. You should feel a stretch in the back leg. You can also bring the leg further back if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more. I invite you to inhale the arms up and above head, bringing the palms to meet. Exhaling to release the shoulders down, bending the elbows. Go ahead and check in with every part of your body here. Are you staying active? And on your next inhale, I invite you to open the chest, finding that slight back bend, maybe bringing our gaze up to the ceiling. Once again, imagining this gold rope connecting our heart and lifting us up, pulling out of the heart space. I invite you to mentally affirm after me, I am free. I am free. Taking one more deep breath on your own, wherever you are, letting it go. And inhaling as we push to get our feet together, pressing up above us, exhaling, spreading all of that energy out and around us. As we come back into Tadasana, closing the eyes, harnessing that energy in and up. Gently opening the eyes back up as we get ready to do Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. So I want to start by inviting you to face the right side of your mat or right side of the room, bringing the feet out about 3 feet. So toes should be facing the right side of the room. And starting by rotating out at that left hip, bringing the toes to face the front of the mat. Front heel should be in the middle of the back arch. And then gently bringing that front knee over that front ankle. Again, making sure you can see the big toe. And I want to encourage you to check in with your hips here. So this could be a vulnerable position for your knees. So what I like to do is bring my hands to my hips and then making sure that the angle of the back hand is at the same angle as the knee and foot. So maybe your foot is at a 45-degree angle, the back foot. Maybe your toes are pointing towards the front right corner of the mat. Once you've found alignment in your knees and your legs, go ahead and shift your chest towards the right side of the room. And I invite you to inhale your arms up to your sides like this. So straight out like a T, palms facing up. And if you'd like to, you can bring your gaze to that front hand. Maybe even envisioning a ball of light in front of you, remaining really active, stretching out of both fingertips, pressing into both feet. I invite you to mentally affirm after me, I joyfully manifest the power of God. I joyfully manifest the power of God. Taking one more deep breath here on your own, letting it go. Inhaling to bring both of our toes to face the right side of the room. Exhaling to release the arms. And maybe heel toeing our feet together if we'd like to. If not, you can stay with an open wide leg stance. And go ahead and gently close your eyes. You can stay facing the right side of the room. Checking in with your body. Maybe taking this time to check in with your intention. Whatever it was that you needed at the beginning of class today, have you been giving yourself that throughout each asana? Are you challenging yourself or instead being really gentle with yourself? Gently opening the eyes. If we brought our feet in, go ahead and find that wide-legged stance once again of about 3 feet apart. And now we'll do the other side. So rotating the back foot towards the back of the mat, starting at the hip, making sure that our back heel or our right heel is in between the arch of the left foot. Bringing the right knee above the right ankle, making sure we can see that toe. And then doing your little hip check-in to make sure that your back hip, knee, and toe are all at about the same angle. This will help protect your knees. Once you feel grounded and in alignment in your bottom half of your body, go ahead and try to shift your shoulders and chest towards the right side of the mat. And then I invite you to inhale the arms up to your sides, palms facing up, ready to receive. Really elongating from both tips of your fingers, pressing into both feet evenly, and maybe even bringing our gaze towards that back hand. Envisioning a ball of light right above that back hand. I invite you to mentally affirm after me, I joyfully manifest the power of God. I joyfully manifest the power of God. Taking one more deep breath on your own, letting it go. And then inhaling as we bring both toes to face the right side of the room once again. Exhaling to release our arms down to our sides. And if you'd like to, you can bring your feet together, maybe heel toeing to find Tadasana. You can stay facing the right or face the front of your mat, but just go ahead and gently close the eyes. Observing all of the energy from all the different parts of your body, moving in and up. For an asana like that, we even might be feeling energy in the tips of our fingers since we were stretching and pulling ourselves out. Visualizing the little cells of energy and light from the very tips of our fingers, moving up the arms, towards the spine, up to the third eye. Gently opening the eyes back up. If you're facing the side of the room, go ahead and bring your facing feet and chest and body back towards the front of the room and the laptop. And we'll now be coming onto the floor. So in Ananda yoga, we start with standing poses, and there's a very specific sequence that we take, and then we'll bring it to the floor now for the rest of today's practice. So meeting in tabletop, which knees should be under the hips, hands should be under the shoulders, feet flat on the floor. Go ahead and start by just checking in with your body, your spine in tabletop here. Maybe arching the spine or moving it a little bit if you'd like, doing what feels right. And then meeting back in a neutral spine. We're going to start with Adho Mukha Shavasana or downward dog. So to come into this asana, I first invite you to bring each hand up about the length of one hand. So instead of being under your shoulders, they should be a little bit above where under your shoulders would be. Then I want to invite you to tuck your toes underneath. We're going to inhale to ground here. And on the exhale, I'm going to invite you to press up as you bring your sit bones up towards the sky. So let's go ahead and inhale together to ground, bringing your gaze in between our hands. Exhaling to press up into the toes, bringing your sit bones up towards the sky, maybe keeping the knees bent or pedaling out your downward dog. Ears should be in between your arms. Again, really pressing the sit bones back and up, feeling free to bend those knees as much as you need to. Maybe nodding our head yes or no here, gently and intentionally. I invite you to mentally affirm after me. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Taking one more inhale to really press those sit bones up a little bit higher. And on the exhale, you can bring the knees back towards the floor, maybe a little bit wider, and press yourself back to child's pose for our neutral asana today. You can also just take a normal seated posture for your neutral asana, whatever feels right for you. If you do want to take child's pose, you're just opening your knees out a little bit wider to the sides of your mat and bringing your hips to sit on your heels. Gently opening the eyes and inhaling back to tabletop. We're going to do downward dog one more time. Downward dog's a really great inversion, and inversions are great for memory and brain fog and brain clarity, which is something that's super important during stressful times. So let's go ahead and once again check in with our alignment before we even start to press up. So making sure our hands are a little bit above underneath our shoulders, our toes are tucked behind us. Let's go ahead and inhale together to really ground into the earth beneath us. Exhaling as we press the sit bones up towards the sky, keeping the knees maybe bent, maybe pedaling out the feet. Trying to keep our weight evenly distributed between our feet and our hands. So our arms shouldn't be doing all the work here. If they are, that means we need to press back a little bit more, maybe bending the knees a little bit more. I invite you to mentally affirm after me. Calmness radiates from every fiber of my being. Taking one more deep breath wherever you are to really press those sit bones up and back. Exhaling as we bring our knees back to the floor, taking child's pose or just a seated neutral position. Once again, guiding the energy in and up. Bringing awareness back into our body, opening the eyes. And pressing up, we're actually going to stay on our bellies for this next asana. So go ahead and meet me laying on your belly, feet on the floor. We'll be doing Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. So with our feet pressed down into the mat, we're going to bring our hands to our sides. So elbows should be tucked in to your rib cage. Maybe your hands are right underneath your shoulders. Maybe your chin is on the mat or your forehead or the sides of your cheeks. Wherever it is that you are, I want you to first inhale deeply as you ground into the pelvis bone, into the tops of your feet. And on the exhale, start to gently press your chest up, pressing into the hands, finding a back bend in your lower back. Using your core here, pressing into the pelvis, pressing into the legs and the feet. Really opening your chest up. And if you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can press yourself up more and more. Maybe with each inhale, you're pressing up a little bit higher. With each exhale, you're relaxing in whatever position that you're in. I invite you to mentally affirm after me. I joyfully rise to meet each new opportunity. Taking one more inhale, maybe to push yourself up a little bit higher, challenge yourself. Exhaling as you release all the way back down to the floor. Maybe bringing your cheek to the side of the mat, the side of your cheek to the mat, or bringing your hands in front of you, letting your forehead rest on the hands. Back bends like that are used to energize the spine. So maybe you're feeling it a little bit more in your spine right now. We're going to do Bhujangasana one more time together. So I invite you to once again bring your hands right underneath your shoulders, tucking the elbows into your ribs or your sides, letting your head rest on the mat still, whether it's on your cheek or chin or forehead. And on our inhale together, I invite you to ground into the tops of your feet, to your pelvis bone, even your hands and your chin. And then on the exhale, go ahead and press up, pressing into all of those same body parts, but bringing our chest off the floor, opening the chest, making sure not to jackknife the neck here. So maybe bringing your gaze towards a little bit above your mat or the top of your mat. I invite you to mentally affirm after me. I joyfully rise to meet each new opportunity. Taking one more deep diaphragmatic breath to maybe elongate the spine a little bit more, and exhaling to release down into the floor beneath you. Once again, maybe bringing your hands up towards the front of the mat so that our forehead can rest on them, or our cheeks towards the mat. Thanking your body once again for showing up for you today, for engaging muscles and parts of our body that we might not use every day, or actively use at least. And I invite you to gently open the eyes as we meet back in a seated position. So you can press yourself back up to tabletop or roll over onto your back and then push yourself up to a seated position. But we're going to meet sitting on our bottom. If you have a blanket or a small pillow that you'd like to bring underneath your sit bones here, I highly encourage you to do so. It'll help you find alignment a little bit easier, sitting up straight with a neutral spine. Our next asana today is going to be Ardha Matsyenasana, or a half spinal twist. So to begin, I invite you to bring your feet out in front of you. And we're going to start by bringing both knees up slightly, not all the way in, but just your feet should be flat on the floor in front of you. And we're going to start by taking the right foot, bringing it towards our back left hip, and bringing the right knee towards the middle of our mat, middle of our body. We really want the knee and belly button to be aligned. So the foot should be underneath that left knee and back towards your left hip. Then I invite you to bring your left foot either up to the left side of your body, or if you would like a little bit more of a challenge and your body feels up for it, bring your left foot to the right side of that knee and making sure that your foot can be fully planted and grounded. Now we'll inhale our left arm up and above, stretching out of our hips. Exhaling as we rotate it back, bringing it to our sacrum. So it should be right in the middle of our bottom, behind us, hand flat on the floor. This will function as our kickstand today. Then I invite you to bring your right hand to your right knee. And we're going to rotate section by section towards the back of our mat. So first, starting with our shoulders facing the front if we can. Inhaling to elongate the spine. Exhaling to rotate just at the bottom part of the spine. Inhaling once again to elongate the spine. Exhaling to rotate at the middle of the spine. Inhaling to elongate. Exhaling as we move towards the top of the spine. And lastly, inhaling up and exhaling to turn the neck. Our gaze might be over the right or over the left shoulder now, maybe facing the back of the room or the mat. Making sure you're not putting too much pressure with that right hand to really push you away. It's just supporting you gently. But all of the twist is coming from your core muscles. Maybe checking in with our shoulders. Are our shoulders leveled? Is one higher than the other? Are our hips leveled? Is one higher than the other? If so, adjusting yourself so that you can be as leveled as you can in the spinal twist. Now I invite you to bring somebody or a group of people to your attention here. Maybe it's a family member or a dear friend. Maybe it's a group of people or healthcare workers. Whoever it is, bringing them to the front of mind, maybe even gently closing the eyes. I invite you to mentally affirm after me, I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. Taking one more deep breath on your own here, letting it all go. And then much like we came into this asana, we will exit this asana in phases. So I invite you to inhale, and on the exhale, slowly start to rotate at the bottom of the spine. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And it would actually be top to bottom on the exit strategy, not bottom to top. Sorry about that. But meeting back facing the front of the room, being very intentional and gentle with our rotations back towards the front, being gentle and kind to our spine, and then bringing your feet in front of us or crisscrossed, whatever feels right for you, to find a neutral asana where we can gently close our eyes, sitting up straight, guiding our energy in and up. Gently opening the eyes back up as we now do the other side. So once again, bring your knees slightly up just to give ourselves room to bring that left foot underneath the right this time. Left knee should be at the center of our body, maybe aligned with our belly button. And then bringing that right foot up, whether it's to the right side of that left knee or bringing it over. I invite you to maybe place your left hand gently on that front knee, and we're going to inhale our arm up and out of our waist and exhale to create a kickstand, bringing it to the center of our bottom. And we'll start rotating, starting at an inhale and elongating the spine, exhaling as we rotate at the bottom of the spine, inhaling as we elongate once more, creating space, exhaling as we rotate at the middle part of the spine, inhaling as we create space, exhaling to rotate at the top part of the spine, inhaling to elongate at the neck, exhaling to bring our gaze towards the back of the room or the back of the mat. Once again, I'll invite you to bring your visualization or attention to loved ones or people that you would like to send some extra love to today. Maybe it's the same person that you did last time. Maybe it's a different person. Visualizing sending them white healing light and love. I invite you to mentally affirm after me. I radiate love and goodwill to soul friends everywhere. Taking one more breath on your own. Really feeling the diaphragm expanding. And on the next exhale, I invite you to start at the top of your head. So maybe inhaling up, exhaling to bring the neck slowly towards the front of your body. Inhaling once again, gently starting to untwist the upper part of your spine. Inhaling to elongate, and then moving down the spine at your own pace to meet back towards the front of the room. Bringing your feet out of the twist, whether we want to sit crisscross applesauce or whether we want to bring our feet out in front of us. Just making sure that we're keeping the spine upright. Crown is being pulled up towards the sky, gently closing the eyes. Visualizing energy moving in and up. Gently opening the eyes back up, as we will now take Baddha Konasana, or bound ankle pose. So this is going to be a forward fold. If you have pillows, like 2 pillows, or even a blanket, you can create a cushion with your blanket by rolling it up like this and putting it above your feet and under your knees. But I will, just a little idea if you need it or you'd like it. So I'll walk you through how to get there though in the meantime. So let's go ahead and bring our feet up towards our bottom. And so for this one, every body is so different. So you might take some messing around. Your feet might want to come all the way up towards your pelvis. They might want to be like 2 to 3 feet outside, wherever it is that you want to start, and feel free to adjust as you need to. Bringing our hands to our knees and gently guiding them out towards the mat. Bringing our feet together to press against each other, and maybe bringing our hands to our feet. If you'd like to, you can give yourself a nice gentle foot massage here. And so we'll do this forward fold much like we did the forward fold earlier in 2 different phases. So the first one, we're going to keep our spine neutral and stay really active. And then the second phase of this forward fold will be a relaxation where we let our head hang kind of heavy and our spine curl. So let's go ahead and start with phase 1. Inhaling to elongate the spine, really sitting up straight. Exhaling as we hinge at the hips, keeping the spine straight, keeping the shoulders back and away from the ears. Letting our gaze follow with the forward fold. So maybe it's above the mat now. If you'd like to, you can bring your hands in front of the feet, so pressing against the mat, or you can go ahead and keep them on your feet, maybe even keeping the massage going throughout this active part of the posture as a little bit of motivation and gratitude to yourself. Breathing deep into the diaphragm here. Maybe with each inhale, we're elongating the spine a little bit more. And maybe with each exhale, we're hinging a tiny bit more at those hips. Using our breath to self-regulate, to find peace in challenging postures, to use our stress tools. I invite you to take one more deep inhale, really elongating the spine. And on the next exhale, go ahead and find yourself in a relaxation phase. So now curving the spine. Maybe the crown is towards the mat. Maybe the chin is towards the chest. Maybe you're creating your own little haven within yourself. I invite you to mentally affirm after me. Secure in myself, I accept whatever is. Secure in myself, I accept whatever is. Taking one more deep breath here on your own. And when you're ready, I invite you to push slightly back up just to phase one. So just go ahead and straighten back out that spine. Maybe you're pressing against your hands on the mat, or maybe your hands are still on the feet. Using the core, engaging your core muscles to really bring your crown back towards the front of the room, spine straight, shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll inhale together to press all the way up. Exhale to maybe release the feet out in front of you. Finding yourself in a comfortable, neutral posture. So gently close the eyes. Maybe you're feeling energy from your legs here, or maybe it's in your spine, wherever it is. Visualizing that light moving in and up, offering it up in the form of gratitude. Gently opening the eyes back up as we come into Jatara Paravatasana. And so this is going to be a supine twist. We can all start on our backs, but I'm going to go ahead and turn around just so that it's a little bit easier to see the way that my legs are moving. And if you'd like to, I'll do a quick demonstration because I know it's a little bit hard to watch me while you're laying down, obviously. So Jatara Paravatasana is going to look like bringing our foot up, moving our hips towards the side of the mat, bringing our foot to our thigh, and gently bringing the knee to the floor, keeping the shoulders on the floor. And our hands will be out to our sides. And I will walk everyone through exactly how to do that and how we can use our breath to guide us there. So go ahead and meet me on your backs. I invite you to inhale as we bring the left foot up towards our bottom. Pressing into that foot, bringing our hips towards the left side of the mat. And then bringing our left foot onto the right thigh. Now aligning our hands, so bringing our right hand to our left knee, bringing our left hand out to our side in a T. Go ahead and inhale to press through the heel of your right foot, elongating the spine all the way up to your crown. And on the exhale, slowly and gently start to bring the left knee towards the floor or the right side of your mat. Super important to keep both shoulders, including your left shoulder, grounded and against the mat here. You don't want to be hanging. Your knee doesn't need to come all the way to the floor, but just finding a nice twist in the spine. Remaining active here. So even though your left knee might be relaxing towards the right side of your body, really pressing out from that right heel all the way to the top of your crown, finding a straight line. Letting energy move freely up and down the entire line of your body. I invite you to mentally affirm after me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. If you'd like to, you can lift your chin or head up and take your gaze towards that left hand, but you don't have to do so. One more time, I invite you to mentally affirm after me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. If you did rotate your head, go ahead and lift it back up and bring it to face or gaze back at the top of the ceiling. We're going to inhale to extend, really pressing out of that bottom heel once more, and then exhale as we slowly and gently guide our left knee back up towards the sky, releasing it to the floor, pressing back into that foot to bring our hips back to the center of the mat, and then releasing that leg and both arms to your sides, to your mat, laying here in a brief shavasana while you guide the energy in and up. Opening the eyes back up and now guiding our right foot up towards the buttocks, pressing into the right foot as we bring our hips up and over to the right side of our mat. Bringing our right foot onto our left thigh, positioning our hands, getting ready to start moving. So bringing our left hand to our right knee, bringing our right hand out to our right side in a bit of a half T. Inhaling to press from that bottom heel, pressing out of the left heel all the way up to the crown, extending, elongating, and then exhaling to gently start guiding your right knee towards the floor, keeping both shoulders grounded against the mat. Once again, bringing our attention to make sure that we're staying active here, creating a tight line of energy that can move freely from the bottom heel of our foot all the way to the crown of our head. If we'd like to, I invite you to gently lift your head up and turn your gaze to your right hand. And mentally affirming after me, I open to the flow of God's life within me. Once again, envisioning this tight line of energy from the bottom of the heel all the way up towards the crown. I invite you to mentally affirm after me. I open to the flow of God's life within me. Inhaling once more to really press into that bottom heel. Gently bringing our gaze back up towards the ceiling if we rotated our neck. And gently bringing the knee back up towards the sky, using our left hand to guide it up as we bring our right foot back towards the floor, pressing into that right foot as we bring our hips back towards the center of the mat. Releasing both arms down to our sides, releasing both feet as we take a brief neutral posture here to guide the energy up. And our last asana of today's practice will be Setu Bandhasana before Shavasana. This is also known as bridge pose, or it's also an inversion. So this is really great for closing out the practice because, like I mentioned earlier, these bring a lot of blood flow and energy to the brain, and they can help with things like memory and brain fog and alleviate any stress that we may be having, just helping us to reset a little bit. If you have a blanket, I'm going to highly encourage you to bring it under the upper part of your back. So this can create a cushion for your neck. So if you do have a blanket and you'd like to bring it to the upper part of your back, you'd like to be ideally laying on the blanket and keeping about 2 to 3 inches of that blanket above your shoulders. So your head should be on the mat and your blanket should be underneath the top part of your back with a little bit of space above your shoulders. I invite you to bring both feet to the floor, grounded, maybe about 6 inches away from your bottom. This is something, again, like some of the other asanas, that it might take some messing around with. Maybe your feet need to be a little bit further away from your bottom, a little bit closer, but just listening and feeling it out and practicing to find what feels best for you. I invite you to bring both palms towards the mat by your sides. So palms should be in near your sides, your elbows should be in near your sides. And we're gonna go ahead and inhale to ground through our feet, through our lower back, through our upper back, through our head, through our hands. And let's go ahead and exhale together as we press the hip bones up, finding a bridge. So hip bones are up towards the ceiling. We're pressing into our arms, pressing into our feet. Maybe our chin is towards our chest now. If you'd like to, I invite you to bring the palms together underneath your body and roll each shoulder one by one underneath to give you a little bit more height in your bridge. Really pressing up towards the sky with those hip bones. Maybe with each inhale, pressing up a little bit higher. With each exhale, relaxing into that phase of the asana. And I invite you to mentally affirm after me, I offer every thought as a bridge to divine's grace. Breathing deep into the belly, maybe watching your belly expand and contract. Taking one more inhale, pressing the hips up a little bit more to challenge yourself. And on your next exhale, you can release the shoulders, release the hands, slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing your bottom back towards the mat. And I invite you to go ahead and release your feet, release your arms as we get ready to take Shavasana. If you had tension in your body anywhere before today's practice that you haven't been able to release yet, I invite you to bring your attention to that particular spot in the body. And if not, I invite you to tense the entire body. But we're going to do a double inhale to tense and then release, sinking into the floor. Let's go ahead and do it together. Double inhale in. Tense, tense, tense every inch of your body. And exhale with a ha, ha, all the way into the floor. Let's do that one more time. Double inhale in. Tensing every single part of your body, your fingers, your toes, and letting it all go with a ha. Relaxing every single cell in the body to the earth beneath us. Gently closing our eyes here. If you have a blanket that you'd like to cover yourself with, feel free to do so. Our body temperature can tend to get a little bit cold when we're in Shavasana after we've been heating ourselves up for the entirety of the practice. I invite you to take this time in Shavasana to really feel the difference that your body might be feeling from the beginning of this practice to now. Continuing to take this time as a meditation, as our longest neutral pose, as you might call it, and just guiding all of the energy up that you've accumulated throughout your yoga practice today and offering it up to Source. Taking this time to realize or bring awareness to what parts of your body are touching the earth beneath you and feeling cradled and safe, feeling carried by Mother Earth. Whatever parts of your body might be touching the mat beneath you or the ground, maybe letting those specific parts of your body melt into the mat beneath you. So if it's the bottoms of your feet or your bottom or your shoulders or the backs of your hands, observing them melt into the earth beneath you like honey, releasing attachment to the body, becoming one with earth, and just bringing all of your attention and energy up to the third eye now. I invite you to slowly start to bring some awareness back into the body. Maybe start by wiggling the toes or the fingertips. Being gentle and slow with yourself. When you're ready, maybe bringing the knees towards your chest. Maybe rocking side to side or making little circles on the ceiling above you with your knees. When you're ready, maybe bringing your right hand up and above you so that you create a nice little pillow with your right arm and rolling over to the right side of your body, finding a fetal position. Laying here and taking this time to give your body some gratitude, thanking it for engaging in this practice today, thanking it for showing up early in the morning, for listening to your heart and exactly what you needed today. And when you're ready, I invite you to use both of your hands to press up and meet me back in a seated position at your own pace, no rush. I believe that we're now going to be doing some chanting, but I want to thank each and every one of you for practicing and sharing your practice with me today. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Om Shanti.
Okay, everyone, now that we're nice and relaxed and energized and all the energy is moving inward and upward, we're going to open our hearts, the door of our hearts, and offer it all up to God. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day, night and day, night and day. I look for thee night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, night and day, I look for thee night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, night and day, I look for thee night and day.
Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, friend, beloved God, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswar, Paramahansa Yogananda, friend and guide Swami Kriyananda. In this meditation, may we be able to attune our consciousness to thy consciousness, to attune our will to thy will, and to open our hearts to receive thy love. May thy love shine forever on the sanctuary of our devotion, and may we be able to awaken thy love in all hearts. Om. Peace. Amen. I invite you to place the attention at the spiritual eye. Maybe beginning your meditation, just following the breath, inwardly chanting on the inhalation Hum, and on the exhalation Sa. Om Sa. We'll meditate about 10 minutes.